So yeah, let me explain the course content first. As you come from manual testing background, right? So you need Java concepts also. First I will brush up all the Java concepts, then I will
Okay.
continue with JUnit. The purpose of JUnit is Selenium will execute all the test scripts what you have written in Java, but after
Okay.
running these test cases, we need to generate some report, right, to show to our managers. They will ask us the test percentage, pass percentage, like how many test cases are getting passed, how many test cases are getting failed. So to generate these reports, we need JUnit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So after explaining both Java and JUnit, I will continue with the Selenium course content. So I will explain you the components of Selenium, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, and Selenium WebDriver.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
so this is
one
the course
second before
content.
beginning. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, how much time will it take to complete this demo?
Demo. Demo I
Yeah.
can finish it within 25 minutes.
Yeah. Try to complete it as soon as possible.
Yeah, sure, sure, no problem. So,
Okay.
um, so I will explain you what is Selenium. See, the need of Selenium is like everyone is moving towards web application, because nowadays, have you heard about cloud computing? Hello?
Yeah, cloud computing.
Cloud computing.
Yeah,
What does
yeah.
it mean
I
by
heard.
cloud computing?
You store some data.
No, no, no. Actually, cloud computing means sharing the infrastructure, putting the infrastructure in the
Okay.
cloud and sharing it to all the users. Like the purpose of cloud
Okay.
computing is, if you see the product like VPN products or Oracle products, they will charge much for the license, right?
Yeah.
So they will charge around 50 lakh 1 crore for license per year. Okay, if you say some good product, their license cost is very high. Okay,
Okay.
small scale industries doesn't pay that much money.
Okay.
So to make them utilize these products, what they did is they are putting them in the cloud and they are giving the time, like you need to pay for 15 days instead of buying the product for 1 year. You can buy it for 15 days and you can build your application.
Okay.
Like that they are doing that in cloud computing. So nowadays everyone is moving towards cloud, right? So they are preferring browser application when compared to desktop applications. So because desktop application you can't share it to everyone, right? In case of desktop application you will install it on your desktop and you need to use it only on your desktop. Only in your machine you can use it. Okay.
Okay.
But in case of browser application, they will be launched with some URL, right? So
Okay.
if you have
Yeah.
internet connection, you can open it anywhere. That product you can open it anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, so nowadays everyone is moving towards browser application. So if you develop a product, if you make it as a browser application, then before releasing the product, you need to validate, right, whether the functionality of that product is good or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you need some utility or you need some framework to validate the test cases on the browser. So
Okay.
there are several tools available in the market like Selenium, QTP. These are the tools available in the market for web-based application validation. Okay.
Okay.
So then first we need to understand, before learning any course we need to understand two. First, what is that? Why is that? So first,
Mm-hmm.
what is Selenium? Second question you need to answer yourself for why is Selenium. So what is Selenium
Okay.
means it automates browsers. Like if you see a browser and if someone asks me to log in into Facebook, sorry. So if someone asks me to log in into browser, what will I do? First I will enter some text in email or phone and I will enter some text in password and I will click on login, right? So
Yes.
these are the three actions I am performing. These are the 3 manual actions I am performing. So using Selenium, you can automate these actions.
Okay.
So typing the text into an input field, typing a text into a password field, and clicking on the button. These kind of browser actions you can automate it through Selenium. Okay.
Okay.
So that is what Selenium. Then why Selenium part? Because Selenium is not only the tool available in the market for browser automation, right? So there are other tools. One more famous tool for browser automation is Qtp. So you should answer yourself for why Selenium, because other tools are available. Why should I learn Selenium?
Okay.
So why should we learn Selenium means it is a free source. Unlike others, there is no need to pay any money to utilize Selenium. It is a free source. You can
Okay.
just download it and you can use it. That is the first advantage of Selenium. And
Okay.
second thing is, if you see, if you take a QTP, you need to write the script in VB script. You need to use VB script as the language. So you should know VB script. If you
Okay.
take some other tools like Telrik and all, they will use C sharp. But in case of Selenium, it is supporting many popular languages in the current market. You can write the code in Java, you can write the code in C sharp, you can write the code in Ruby, you can write the code in Python. It's supporting around 6 languages, 6 programming languages. In any one of the programming language you can write, it will understand that code and it will automate the browser actions. Okay.
Okay.
And no one can automate browser actions through Java or C sharp or what you call Ruby or Python. To automate browser actions, you need JavaScript.
Okay.
Okay, so what Selenium will do is it will understand the commands you will give in one of the language, and it will convert into the JavaScript, and it will fire the script on the browser.
Okay.
So if you to, I will show you simple script.
Once again, I cannot
Yeah.
see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Shit. So if yeah, I told you right, Facebook is nothing but Facebook login action is nothing. You are able to see my screen, right?
No, cannot
You're
see.
you're not able to see.
No, I cannot see.
I shared my screen now.
Before I was able to see it. I don't know how it got disconnected. Now I cannot see it.
You're not able to see now. I shared my screen now.
Citrix Online. I was trying to click the link which you have given in the mail.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
And it's going to launch application. Go to meeting.
okay.
And other one is choose an application.
Launch an application. So you're
Yeah,
talking.
I have installed Citrix. Citrix
Okay,
Online.
okay. Now is it
Yeah,
installing or you
EXE
have
file.
installed it?
It's done.
Okay.
It's done. Okay.
He will show my screen, I guess. Wait. But you're talking with me, right?
AI has. Yeah, that is through
You,
GTalk, right?
you're talking with me through GTAC?
One second.
No. We are talking in the
Yeah.
meeting only.
Okay. Yeah. Now I can see it.
You're able to see?
Yeah.
Okay. We are not talking through GTAC. We are talking through GoToMeeting only. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. As I explained earlier, Facebook login action is nothing but a sequence of mm, uh, three UI actions. One is filling some text in email, filling some text in password, and clicking on the login button. Okay? So
Okay.
without touching the keyboard, I can enter the text by executing some JavaScript. If you see here, get element by ID, equal to email. So I got the control on the email, right?
Okay.
If I hover it, you are able to see, right, that element in the browser. So dot value equal to Devendra. See, Devendra entered here. So to do every manual action, browser will provide some APIs. Browser will provide some methods to automate the manual actions. So to enter the text, to click on the button, there are scripts available uh, from the browser end. Okay. What Selenium will do is it will give us an option to write the code in one of our favorite languages, and it will take care of converting that code into JavaScript.
Okay.
I am a front-end developer, so I am able to write script by my own. But if you know only Java, you can't automate it, right? You don't know JavaScript, you can't write JavaScript, so you can't automate the browser acts. But by using Selenium, even you are a Java developer, you can automate the browser actions, because Selenium will act as the middleware. So what will it do is it will take the Java commands from you and it will convert as a JavaScript, and it will fire the JavaScript in the browser. Then those actions will be automated. Did you get what I am trying to say?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No. What I'm asking is, did you understand what I am trying to say?
Yeah.
You got it right? Do you have any doubts? I will definitely clarify you.
Yeah. I'm getting you.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
So not only Java, you can write the script in any one of the languages.
Yeah.
There are around 6 languages are there. So this is about why Selenium and what is Selenium. Okay. So now I will go to the
Okay.
presentation now. What is Selenium? Selenium is a robust set of tools that support rapid development of test automation for web-based applications. Okay. So works on every system where JavaScript is supported. Why do we need JavaScript? As I told you earlier, to automate the actions on top of the browser, you need JavaScript. So Selenium will work on the systems where JavaScript is supported. If JavaScript is not supported, there is no way to automate the browser actions. So there is no purpose of Selenium also.
Okay.
Okay, can simulate a user navigating through pages and then assert for specific marks on the pages. So it can automate navigating through the pages. That means if you click on the link, it will open some new page, right? It will open some next page.
Yeah.
In such cases, these kind of actions you can simulate through Selenium. That means you can automate it through Selenium. And after opening page, so you need to test, right, whether the page is opened or not. Okay, you logged into FB. So how will you verify that whether the login is successful or not? If you successfully logged in, definitely news feed will appear, logout button will appear. So
Yeah.
some UI will come, right? So you will assert with one of the text, like you will assert for logout text. If logout text is there, means you are successfully logged in. Okay.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
news feed is there, means you are successfully logged in. Like that, there are commands to assert for some text. Okay.
Okay.
That is he saying. So, and Selenium ID is a plugin to Firefox to record and play tests. As I shown you, there are several components in Selenium. Selenium ID is one of that. It is available as the plugin for Firefox. Using that, you can record and play the test cases. Okay, and you can export the recorded test in many languages. So it supports Java, C Sharp, Perl, Ruby, etc. So after recording the test case, you can export into any one of the language. If you know Java, if you are a Java developer, you will export into Java. If you are a C Sharp developer, you can export into C Sharp. So this is one more
Okay.
advantage of Selenium, and because of this only many people are preferring Selenium, because it is not restricting the user
Mm-hmm.
to work on one language. You can choose any one of
Okay.
the languages supported by Selenium, and
Okay.
you and the ability to deploy in different platforms. So you can use the Selenium code on Windows, Linux, Mac. If you write the code on Windows, you can use the same code on Linux machines, Mac machines also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one more
Okay.
greatest advantage of Selenium is it supports most popular languages in the current market. If you write a script, if you write some code, you can run it on Internet Explorer, you can run it on Safari, you can run it on Firefox, you can run it on Chrome. So if
Okay.
you are a manual tester, so you are working in Facebook. So they asked you to validate login functionality of the Facebook. What will you do? You will enter some text in username, password, and you will click on login button. You will check whether for right credentials you should log in. For wrong credentials you should give some message, error message you should give.
Yeah.
But if you check in one browser, you can't certify it, right? If it works in Chrome, you can't say that it will work in Firefox. You need to check that in Firefox again.
Mm.
If so before releasing the product, the same test case you need to repeat on multiple browsers. Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
using Selenium, you can run the same test case. If you write it once, you can run the same test case on multiple browsers because it is supporting multiple browsers, right? As a manual tester, it
Okay.
needs lot of efforts to run the same test case again and again on different browsers.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and one more thing, products like I am currently working in one of the famous BPM product based companies. So for every release they will support multiple browser versions too. That means they will support IE9 and IE10. They will support Firefox 13, Firefox 14. Some versions they will support. Chrome they will support 31, 32. Like that they will give. So they need to validate each and every test
Okay.
case on browser versions too. If they validate on IE9, they can't certify it that it will work on IE10. So they need to again repeat the same test case on IE10 too. So the test coverage matrix is very huge for product based companies. So they can't put efforts in manual testing because they need
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of manual testers to perform all the actions manually. So what they will do is they will take assistance from Selenium. So they will write some code in Selenium, and by using resources, by using several missions, they will run the script on different combinations. Like in one mission they will run on IE9, in one mission they will run on Chrome, in one mission they will run on IE10, and in one mission they will take Windows combination, in one mission they will take Linux combination. Like that they will do. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the these are the cool features of the Selenium. That's why many people are
Mm-hmm.
using Selenium right now in the market. So these are the
Okay.
browsers supported by Selenium. It supports Firefox 3, Firefox 2. So this table is very old, I guess. But don't look at the versions because Firefox 2, Firefox 3 are very old. No one is using it right now. I don't know
Yeah.
the latest version of Firefox 2, but IE released its IE 11 is released, that is in current
Yeah.
market.
Recently.
So Safari also it's releasing, it released around 5 or 6th version. So all the latest browser versions are supported by Selenium. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the voices, Windows, Linux, Mac. These are the voices supported by Selenium. So we'll see the components of Selenium. So these are the components: Selenium Core, Selenium IDE, Selenium Remote Control, and Selenium Grid. So no one is using Selenium Core right now, so I don't want to discuss much on it. And we will look at Selenium IDE. So as I told you
Okay.
earlier, Selenium IDE is a record and play tool. So it will be available as Firefox plugin. Hello, hello.
Yeah. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. So if you install Selenium IDE, it will be available as the plugin on Firefox. Okay. So you need to click on it. So a pop-up window will be opened. Okay.
Okay.
This is record button. By default it will be enabled. Okay, it is in recording mode now. So I will do some actions here, like so I am opening an URL, then I am clicking on a link, then I am clicking on a button, I am clicking on one more button, I am clicking on that button, then I am going to index page, I am clicking on another link, I am going to index again, I am clicking on the first link, I am choosing this radio button, I am changing the select box value to Selenium RC, I am clicking on this button, this added some text here. So I did several actions, right?
Yeah.
So everything is recorded here.
Okay.
Okay, so I will open new tab here and I will run it. See, whatever the actions I performed, I am able to do it again. Okay, so using Selenium I can record all of my manual actions, I can run it for every release. Okay, but nowadays no one is using Selenium IDE because the main disadvantage of Selenium IDE is it supports only Firefox. If you take Selenium IDE is an option, then you can validate your product only on Firefox. So
Okay.
no one is using Selenium IDE. But why I placed Selenium IDE in my course content is to enter some text on a page, you should tell your program to find it, right? First you need to find the
Yeah.
element, then only you can do the action like entering the text or clicking on the button. So before doing any action, first you need to find out the element, right?
Yeah.
So to find out an element there should be some logic. So in Selenium that is called identifier. Using identifier they will find the element. Okay, so if you see here, he will tell to click this link chapter 3 by using the identifier link equal to chapter 3. Okay, there are several links, but link equal to chapter 3 will be pointed to this chapter 3 link. This is the identifier for chapter 3 link. Okay,
Okay.
link equal to chapter 1 is the identifier for chapter 1 link. So these are called identifiers. Okay, for freshers, for the beginners, it's really difficult to implement these identifiers by their own. Okay, because in Selenium RC and Selenium WebDriver, it's pure Java programming. Those are not unlike Selenium IDE. Those are programming complete, and they will depend completely on the programming. Those are not record and play tools. So you need to give your own identifiers to identify an element. Okay, so as a beginner it's really difficult to give the identifier by your own, so you can take assistance from this IDE. So whatever the manual actions you are going to automate, first record them using Selenium IDE. So you are going to click on this link. Okay, record that using Selenium IDE. It will give you the options available. So you can find an element in many ways, right?
Yeah.
On the browser you have several elements, so each element you can find, like your name is Sirisha, right?
Yeah.
So you are studying in a class, your roll number is 143, so I can find you by your name, like if I call you Sirisha, then you will come, or I can find you by your ID, right? And I can find you by your rule number, sorry, I can find you by your surname. So there are several ways to identify human being, like that in browser also. To identify an element there are several ways. You can find it by ID, you can find it by name, you can find it by XPath, you can find it by CSS. There are several ways. So if you record that, it will list down all the available options to identify that element. Okay, so what will you do is, before writing program in either Selenium RC or Selenium WebDriver, you will record it and you will choose one of the options from these identifiers. Okay, link equal to X is there, right? This identifier you will use in your program to automate it. Okay, you will get full clarity about it when we go through these topics, right? Selenium ID, Selenium RC, you will get full idea. But if you are able to understand what is identifier, that is enough for demo class. Okay. So the main advantage of Selenium IDE is no one is going to automate test cases using Selenium IDE because of the limitation that it is supporting only Firefox. The main advantage of Selenium IDE is it will give us the identifiers to locate the elements on the browser. For that purpose only we will use it. Okay. You got it? Hello? Hello? Hello, Sirisha? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you get it? What I am trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
you got
I'm
disconnected in between, right?
okay, no problem. So I'm closing the IDE now. Okay.
Okay.
So you can save the test case also. You can save it to your file system. You can save it somewhere as a dummy test case, and you can load it uh, after some point of time. Whenever you want to run the test case, you can open it from there and you can run it again. Okay. So we covered Selenium IDE part. In Selenium RC, RC is also one of the component of Selenium IDE. Um, Here you need to write the code in Java. The components of Selenium RC are Selenium server and client libraries. So to execute any program in Selenium RC, first you need to start Selenium server. It will dump Selenium core JavaScript into the browser, and using that Selenium core engine, it will automate all the actions. So that is their architecture. So we'll discuss much on it in later classes. So these are the cool features of the RC. One is multiple platform support. So it supports Windows, Linux, Mac. Multiple browser support. It supports IE, Firefox, Safari, Chrome, etc. Multiple programming language support. So you can write the test cases in C Sharp, Java, Ruby, Python, etc. And there are several locators. As I told you earlier, we need locators to identify the element, right? So it is providing us several options to locate an element. You can find an element using XPath, HTML ID, DOM, CSS selector, etc. And it supports Ajax calls. Proxy injection mode is there. Text secure sites and easy to use small learning curve, feed open source. These are the features. So these are the object locators. So if you are trying to click on login button, so you can identify that login button by its ID. So if you give ID equal to login button, like you have three buttons in your page. One button's ID is login button, another button's ID is logout button, another button's ID is reset button. So by providing ID equal to login button, you will click on login button only. So you will use identifiers to locate the desired element on the page. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the several types of locators available. You can find it by ID or you can find it by XPath. I will explain what does it mean by XPath in later classes, and you can find it by link, you can find it by CSS. So these are the several ways available to locate an element on the page. So instead of Selenium IDE, you can take assistance from these tools also. These tools also will helpful to identify the locator. So for an element, we need to provide a locator, right? So these locators, if you find difficulty in writing locators by your own, you can take assistance from these tools also. So Selenium IDE we have already covered. So that's it. So advantages and limitations. Advantages is customized defect reporting, finding defects missed by manual testing, because in manual testing it's really difficult to cover all the scenarios, possible scenarios, and manual testers might be frustrated because of repetitive work, so they might skip few of the test scenarios. But it's not the case with computers, right? Even you run the program thousand number of times, it doesn't skip even single line in the code you have written. So you can find the defects missed by manual testing. Support for agile and extreme development methodologies, so you can develop in any one of the methodology. Frequent regression testing. Regression testing is for every release you will repeat the same test cases again and again. Rapid feedback to
Yeah.
developers. Yeah, as manual testers, unlike manual testers, it will take very less time to execute and give the report to developers. So limitation is, if application user interface will change considerably in near future, any automation might need to rewritten anyway. That means, like, uh, we have three buttons. One button ID is login button. So by providing ID equal to login button, you are able to locate the element and you are clicking on the button. But in the next release, you renamed the ID of that button to login button 2, login button 3, like that you renamed. Then definitely your test case will fail, right? You changed the ID of the button, so with the old value, definitely I can't locate the element, right?
Yeah.
So if the user interface changes in your product, definitely you should change your test case. That is the limitation. If you write one test case, if you write an test case, doesn't mean that it will write forever, it will run forever. If the UI changes, you should keep on change your test case. That is the limitation in
Okay.
front end automation. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And conclude, most of the applications these days are web based. As I told you earlier, everyone is moving towards cloud computing, so everyone is using web based applications rather than what you call desktop applications. Yeah. Test automation is used more frequently. Test automation uses software tool to run repeatable tests. Selenium acts as tool to do test automation. Components include IDE, RC, grade, and core kinds of dot core.js libraries. So grid means like at a time, if you want to run the same test case in multiple environments, then grid will be helpful. You can associate more than one RCs into a grid. Like one you will make it as owner, remaining all will act as slaves. That means those are employees, like that they will work. So you will give commands to hub. That means owner will take the commands and he will give all the he will give all the tasks to his slaves.
Okay.
So by using grid, you can run the same test case at a time on IE, Firefox, Chrome, like that. If you have only one Selenium RC, you can run the test case only in one combination, right? But using Selenium Grid, you can associate multiple Selenium RCs and you can run the same test case at a time in different combinations. That is the purpose of Selenium Grid. Okay. Yeah, this is all about Selenium. And one more thing is there, Selenium WebDriver. So they clubbed the features of Selenium 2.0 and WebDriver, and they made it as no, they clubbed the features of Selenium 1.0 and WebDriver, and they made it as Selenium 2.0. So here WebDriver is completely object oriented API, doesn't need the real browser, no JavaScript limitations are there, no need for server, and it's not delicate as Selenium. So in WebDriver, many latest features are included. Like in Selenium, what they will do is that is not pure object-oriented programming. Uh, I will give you the one example. You need to perform two actions on top of an element. Like in a text box, first you need to focus, then you need to enter some text into it. Okay.
Okay.
In Selenium RC, what they will do is selenium.focus, they will give some ID equal to some login button, the ID equal to some email, and selenium.type ID equal to email, and they will give some text. So first what they will do is they will find the element and they will focus on it. In second step, they will find the element again and they will enter text. So in the first step they found the element, right? But they are not storing it anywhere. In pure object oriented programming, what we will do is, if you do some action, you will return the object. On top of the object, you will do all the actions. In WebDriver, what they will
Okay.
do is, they will locate the element once and they will do, and they will return that element, and they will do all the operations on top of the element. What I am trying to say is, if you have to do 10 operations in Selenium RC, you need to find the element 10 times.
Okay.
In Selenium WebDriver, what they will do is, they will find the element once, they will return that element, on top of the element they will do all the actions. That's why it is object oriented API. Okay, we'll see everything in the later classes. It would be difficult to understand everything in the demo class itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are able to understand Selenium, what does it mean by Selenium, that's good enough. And
Okay.
as I told you earlier, now everyone is moving towards Selenium WebDriver. All the new projects are getting started in WebDriver only. But if someone starts their framework in 2010, for them it's really difficult, right? They can't change it immediately from RC to WebDriver. So to migrate those projects, WebDriver backed Selenium is the class provided by Selenium. If you are
Okay.
starting the project right now, then you can go ahead with WebDriver. If you are planning to migrate your old code, that means you are planning to migrate from Selenium RC to WebDriver, then you should use WebDriver backed Selenium. So WebDriver backed Selenium contains both RC APIs and WebDriver APIs. WebDriver contains only WebDriver API. You need to remember
Okay.
only one thing. If you are starting your project right now, then go ahead with WebDriver. If you are planning to migrate from RC to WebDriver, then go ahead with WebDriver backed Selenium. Those are the classes provided by Selenium. Okay.
Okay.
So this is object oriented. These are the cool features, and there are
How much
several.
more time will it take?
What? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, how much more time will it take?
I will conclude it within 2 to 3 minutes. That won't take much time.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that you are in a hurry, so I will finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the locator strategies available in WebDriver.
Okay.
So these are the page interactions. So mainly what will you do? In most of the browser interactions, we will enter text and we will do many clicks on buttons or links, right?
Okay.
So these are the main APIs for page interactions. Using send keys, you can enter some text into a text field. Using click, you can click on a button. Using submit field, using submit API, you can submit a form. These are the page interactions available. So there are several target locators. These are also I will explain in later classes if you are interested. So that's it. This is all about Selenium.
Okay. You provide training on PPT also?
1 minute. Let me stop the recording first.